Okay, so today is Epicenter Day 1. You're going to have this, you're going to take notes, and then I'm going to do a lab. I am not going to do the activity today. I'll do the activity next week, just so that you get more experience with doing the epicenters, dealing with the S&P waves, the lag times, the when a P wave hits, when an S wave hits, where the epicenter originated. That's all from the activity yesterday. So we're expanding onto it today. So based on doing that, one thing you need to do when you're dealing with epicenters, because remember, epicenters are where the damage is going to be the worst. So to find an epicenter, you need 3 stations using epicenter distances to triangulate the position. So you're going to triangulate, triangle, 3 sides, 3 stations. That's how you can remember. You always need 3 stations to triangulate an epicenter. So how do you do this? You start the process by reading a seismograph from a seismometer and determining the difference between the P and S wave, or the lag time, the difference between the two. For the following, record the difference between the P and the S waves. So right here, I have this. This is, sorry, there we go. We have A, B, and C. I'm sorry, it's not like the best pictures. This is what you would see if you were in class. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to determine A's minutes and seconds. So I'm going to first off put a line through where the P is to the number, the minute. So I'm going to put a P right like that. Yeah, I know it's a little crooked. It's the best I could do. And then I'm going to put a line through the S. So after I have that, now I can figure out the minutes. Well, 3 goes from here to 4. There's 1 minute. I can't go to 5 minutes. So there's 1 minute. Now, since I'm to here, each of these little hash marks, remember those hash marks are 20 seconds apiece. So you've got 1 hash mark, that's 20. Second is 40. So it's 1 minute, 40 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to go and do letter B. So I'm going to, again, put a line through my P, put a line through the S, and then I'm going to figure out the minutes first. So it goes 2 to 3. So 1, 2, 3 minutes. And then I'm going only 1 little tiny hash mark, so 3 minutes, 20 seconds. The last one, here's the P, here's the S. I'm going to count the minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, 1 hashtag, 20 seconds. All right, so now that we have this stuff, we're going to go to the next section. So now we're going to take those differences between the P and the S waves to page 11 of your reference table. It should be page 11. I don't know what has something weird happened. Of your reference table, and use the index card. Pardon me, an index card. For those of you who worked with me yesterday on the activity in the Zoom session, I used just a spare piece of paper. But here's the deal. If you're going to use like an actual piece of paper, and I don't have one with me to show you, but like an actual lined piece of paper, do not use a lined piece of paper, because those little lines might screw you up. If you do, you're going to want to like fold it on its side where you don't have any lines matching that way. You don't want that. That would like mess you up. So you want to have like an index card, or what I did is this would be like my little scrap piece of paper. So I'm going to line it up on this line right here. And I'm going to make sure my 0 is on the X and this is on the Y. And what you're going to do is hashtag off on your card. So the first one we had was 1 minute, 40 seconds. So I have my card. I'm going to hash off where 1 minute, 40 seconds is. So it's roughly right there. I'm going to put it right there. So I'm going to hash it off. All right. So after I do that, I'm going to take my hash mark and I'm going to drag it along up here until it meets, keeping this side on the the P wave and getting this one to the S wave. So that's where they meet up. Another way you can do that is if you know that it's going to be a minute 40. Lost it for a second. So if you know it's going to be a minute 40, you can actually count up the minute 40. So a minute 40 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hash marks. So you would just have to find where there's 5 little hash marks in between the two. These two ways you can do it. Whatever way is the easiest for you. I'm not wanting to tell you you have to do it this way. This is just easiest for me. So I'm going to drag up that line and drag it until I get to here. And I find that, ooh, look, my epicenter distance at A is 1,000 kilometers. All right, let's look at B. So I'm going to take it again, and I'm going to hash it off because it was 3 minutes, 20 seconds. I'm going to hash it off there. Then I'm going to take that, and I'm going to drag it up along here till it matches up with the bottom of my line, the 0 line always being on the P, and I got to match up where the S actually hits that, just like that, like right on, like a little, almost like a little bullseye. So at that point, my epicenter distance is going to be about 2,000 kilometers. Here's the deal. If you're like, hey, Miss Co, I don't like it. I think it's 1,800 kilometers. Guess what? I'm not going to count it off. You've got a 200 kilometer give or take. So it's like plus or minus 200 kilometers. All right, so the final one was 4 minutes 20 seconds. I'm going to hash it off, and then I'm going to drag it up along here until I find the 4 minutes 20 seconds. And my epicenter distance, dragging it down, is going to be 3,000 kilometers. Okay, so now that I have all of those written out, you will typically be given, this is part of the Regents hands-on section. You will be given a scale, and with that scale, you have to scale out these right here. So my first one is 1,000, so I'm going to make a mark to 1,000, right? And then I'm going to take it over here to A, right like that. And when I have a compass, you guys will have an actual compass where you can make it go around. If we do end up taking the Regents, I will make sure that I pull all of you in to the school so that you have this hands-on practice, because it is a requirement for the Earth Science Regents that you have on this hands-on. The hands-on portion is 16 points of your Regents. So it's an important part. You do not want to get a 0, because if you get a 0, basically you have to get almost every single multiple choice correct to pass. Not a good thing. So we want to get you good grades, or do really, really good. So ideally you would have a compass, and the compass would be like the protractor type compass that you would use in math to make a circle. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to make a circle at that distance. So I'm going to do the same thing for 2,000. So I get my line at 2,000 and I bring it down to B. And then I'm going to draw my circle. And then I'm going to do the same thing for 3,000. I'm going to take it to C, and I'm going to do that. And again, you can see there's going to be a little bit of a leeway. Once I got that, remember, you're triangulating. So when you triangulate, you are going to get like the little triangular-ish shape because you're triangulating. You're going to find where all three intersect. Where do all three intersect? They intersect right here. So all you do would be to put an X. That is how you determine an epicenter based on using the epicenter distances that we are finding on here. So all these parts match. All right, so that is it for the notes. If you have questions, please Zoom me. You have a lab to do after this. It has a little bit more to do with epicenters. You will have a lab again next week. Questions, please email, class tag, hop on Zoom. I will Zoom and walk through activities with you if you need to. You are not to copy off of each other. If you are doing a lab, you are to do it by yourself. You are not working with people. These are set up so that you can work on them by yourself. If you have questions, email me, get on a Zoom, class tag me. That way you can get help from me. Do not copy off of each other. All right? Have a great day.